Gibbs, and I'll be giving a presentation for my FOA. My IB learner topic is the evolution of language. English as we know it today is nothing like it was 3,000 years ago in the Elbe River region. Back then it was called Indo-European and Germanic. 800 years later, it broke up into three different subgroups. East Germanic, by those who migrated back to Southern European, which is no longer alive. North Germanic, which spread into now Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, and Icelandic. West Germanic, which is the root of all German, Dutch, Flemish, Frisian, and English as we know it today. 700 years later, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes invaded the British Isles. With their settlements came four major dialects of Old English: Northumberland to the north, American in the Midlands, West Saxon to the south, and Kentish in the southeast, eradicating much of the Celtic speakers into Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, and Ireland, adding on to this melting pot of words what is now English. And the best written example from that time is Beowulf. Next is the Norman Conquest in 1066. They wiped out England and the Anglo-Saxons. These Saxon overlords spoke a dialect of Old French known as Anglo-Norman, which is also having Germanic influences and Latin roots. This sparked Latin added many Romance words such as priest, vicar, and mass. This is about the first time we really see a mesh of two or more languages. This turned into Middle English, which is still legible today. By 1362, linguistic division between nobility and commoners was largely over, adopting the statute of pleading, making English the language of courts. Later in the 1300s, the Renaissance struck, the age of Shakespeare. Shakespeare has around 2,000 words that are coined as his own, adding much to the dictionary. Later on, we have the Great Vowel Shift, changing many pronunciations what we would now understand today. In 1476, William Caxton of England invented the very first printing press. Being able to mass-produce books was huge. He dropped the price of books so that everyone could buy one, thus increasing the average literacy of people all over Europe. This led to the very first English dictionary in London in 1604, setting a standard for English spelling and pronunciation. In 1760, the Industrial Revolution dropped, adding many tech words for each new invention. At this time, the British Empire ruled about 1/4 of the Earth's surface. That's a lot of territory to own, so they overran many cultures and influenced them with English. But also, they could have lived alongside some of these cultures and learned from them. For example, the Hindis gave us shampoo, pajamas, and juggernaut. Later in the 1900s, we saw two world wars. As many nations collided down on each other, military slang influenced much of English language like camouflage, radar, and landing strip.